Would you like to save your current game?
Hello, everybody. Wait. I think the dice looks a little bit too big. Should I move it? Let me see. 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 Maybe the desk is a little bit too big. Oh shit! That's why I put it like that. Oh. So you don't see the shit. You don't see the weird ass looking thing. Yeah, I totally have an arm. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Hell yeah. Bookmark. Yeah, perhaps. I do have a bookmark. It's already, the book is already bookmarked. It's an automatic bookmark. I was worried that I had to remember or like write down where I left out the previous novels when I first started. But no, it's got an it automatically bookmarks stuff where you left off. Also, hello everybody. Long days and peaceful nights, so I say. Welcome. Hello Alexander. Hello Relamy Bones. Hello Matty. Hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday night today. Happy Saturday. Oh shit. Again. No, the fucking week. The fucking weekend. Wait. I need to grab my bottle of water. Okay. I forgot to bring my water bottles to next to me. There we go. Okay, here we go. Back sitting aloud. Time to get the book's cliff notes. I don't think any of the novels have cliff notes. Not even the physical ones. I've never bothered to check if they have cliff notes, or even like a summary. They have a summary, but it's for the previous book, not for the overall current book. Hell yeah. Let's see. Okay, so let me turn this on. I tried to look for the previous music that I always use, and I couldn't find it, so now I'm gonna use a different track. The good thing is 11 hours long, so I don't have to worry about it suddenly ending and automatically playing the next track. But the bad thing is it's 11 hours long. And I hope it doesn't break my connection. Hello Blood, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Long days and peaceful nights, so I say. Okay, let me play. All right, here we go. Let me switch to game or the book. Oh, let's see. Let me check the audio volumes. I am not sure if they're correctly or if they're balanced, I mean. Oh. Okay, let's see. I'm at yes, it sounds good. And okay, so this is all turned on and we're ready. Yes, we're ready. We are ready, Eddie Spaghetti. All right. Oh no, my favorite part, reading. I need to read a lot.
I am Turok.
Why is the thing only showing? I'll check that.
I am Turok.
I'm gonna check why it only shows the meme only once. I don't know what's wrong. I don't even know what's wrong with that redeem. I'll just move it. I'll move that redeem to mix it up so that I don't have to deal with sound alerts. Oh well. All right, here we go. So chapter 7. What was the previous chapter? Let me backtrack and see if I can remember some stuff. Folding gates, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, that's right. Joshua wanted to quit. Joshua wanted to stop being a Turok, and now we're gonna read the culmination of whether or not he's gonna quit, and you know, the universe will die if he quits. And also he brought back someone from the dead. Her brother. I mean, his brother, his sister, not her brother. I got confused. I get confused really bad. Here we go. Chapter 7. I just realized I think you can zoom in. Can you? Oh, you can zoom in. I should have probably checked the UI when I was doing this, using this software. What is this one? Rotate, fit in a single page, continuous, and I think that's it. 92 pages. Oh, I'm close to the end. Holy shit, that's not a lot. I might be able to finish it in maybe less than 2 hours. I hope. I think. Okay, maybe like this. All right. No, hang on. 92. There's no way it's 92 pages. Oh, it is 92 pages. Oh shit. That's weird. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm curious how big. Wait. How big is Arena of Doom? 88 and Path of Destruction 100. They're roughly the same size. The other two novels. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. I guess if I were to like pull out my books and like read them on my own, it'll probably take me like 4 hours each. So certainly faster than the Dark Tower. Holy shit, the Dark Tower took me 2 weeks to finish. All the Dark Tower series. Oh wait, actually it is longer. I think it took me like 3 months to finish. I mean 1.5 months to finish the Dark Tower series. So the Gunslinger, Throwing of the Tree, Wastelands, what is the fourth one? Western Glass. Fifth one, Wolves of the Kala. Sixth one is Song of Susanna, and the last one is the Dark Tower. Holy shit. Also, speaking of the Dark Tower, really bad ending. I hated it. 0 out of 10. The actual story, the up until the ending, pretty good, pretty fucking good, except there were some lows here and there. But the actual ending, what? It sucked. Holy shit, it sucked. I prefer the ending of The Stand. Or the ending in what was the other one? It, yeah. That was a pretty good ending. Or I guess a decentish ending. What was the other one that I read so far? The Stand, It, watched Dark Tower, Langoliers. Oh yeah, the Langoliers. The Langoliers, it was fun. I only remember the Langoliers because I watched the old movie. Apparently people disliked the CGI, but I didn't mind it. When I watched it, I didn't mind it. I found it like really cool and daring even. It was better. It had the better. I love the freaking clown. Although I'm pretty sure that's it is the reason I probably hate clowns. What do you mean? What do I mean by hating clowns? I'm a fucking clown myself. Probably that's why another reason why I hate clowns. I'm a clown myself too. Apparently, oh yeah, there's also The Stand. I watched all of The Stand during Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. God damn it! I just saw you live. What do you mean by that, little bro? What do you mean by that? Hello, bro, little bro. Good days and long days and pleasant nights. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down because I keep saying it wrong. Just finished. Oh no. Oh no, there's always next time. Wink, wink. Hang on, I gotta write something down because I keep forgetting how it actually goes. Okay, so long days and pleasant night. How the hell do you spell? How do you spell nights? Long days and pleasant nights. So I say. Here we go. There we go. Now I don't have to. Now I don't have to worry about this thing. I hope. I'll make a new one, a new sticky note. There we go. Doblado al español. Oh my. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué lo haces? Well, oh no, también me vas a hacer bullying, ¿verdad? Sí, dilo. Me vas a hacer bullying, ¿verdad? Condenado este. Wait. Si voy a hablar en español, no va. Voy a esperar en hablar en español. Entonces, I mean, wait. Espera un momento. ¿Dónde chequeo cuánto tiempo ha pasado? Oh no. Déjame ver. 16 o 7:21. Ok, a 7:21 más o menos tendré que parar. Te odio. Pero yo lo controlo. No. Tú no controlas nada. Tú no controlas nada, chico. Tú. Lo único que controlas es tu vida. Oh no, bueno, muy bien, ok, ya sé de lo que puedo hablar, Entonces, lo que estaba diciendo es que me encanta el stand. Miré el... ok, déjame abrir browser, el cosa este de web browser, google.com. Oh no, no me va a mostrar, no me va a mostrar. Oh, sí, me lo mostró. ¿Dónde están miniseries? There we go. Aquí está. Ok. Pensé que me iba a mostrar el cover, pero no encuentro el cover. Aparentemente rehicieron esta serie en Paramount. Y no tengo idea si es buena. No tengo idea si esta es mejor que la anterior. Lo único que he visto es la parte donde explota la bomba al final. Pero la original fue súper buena. Especialmente ese maldito boludo, este tipo hizo ¿cómo se dice? Performance. Boludo. No. Mira, cuando vives aquí en Estados Unidos, se te pega la forma de la gente que habla de todos los países latinoamericanos. Es por eso que nadie que conozco me dice que, oh, tú eres de México porque tienes el acento de México. No, de hecho es porque mi acento es completa, se puede decir una sopa estúpida de todos los dialectos latinoamericanos. ¿Necesitas educación? No. O maybe sí. A lo mejor sí necesito reeducarme en español, pero en mi español que conozco. Ok, como estaba diciendo, este animal hizo su forma de actuar fue bien buena. Me encantó. Especialmente porque tú sabes que él es el malo, pero no, o sea, el villano, se puede decir. Porque en realidad no hay villano en esa miniserie. O se puede decir que el villano es... el villano en sí es todo el gobierno en el stand, en esa miniserie. Pero este animal, es porque en realidad es un animal. Sí, tuvo la mejor. Es el mejor actor. Fue el mejor actor de ese. Al igual que la abuelita. La abuelita también. Cuando la abuelita se murió, yo lloré. Sí, sí. Ok, sí. Estoy dando spoilers. Estoy completamente arruinando para la gente que no ha visto el Star. Pero cuando ella murió, yo lloré. Ella, sí. No por suerte no la mató este. Este nunca mató a nadie en sí. Al único que mató fue a un profeta. Pero, en cuotas, en comillas. Pero matar, él nunca mató a nadie. Y la abuelita se... Por las acciones de este animal, la abuelita murió. Pero la abuelita se puede decir que era el, ¿cómo se dice? La emisaria de Dios. Pero sí, honestamente, cuando ella se murió, sí, yo lloré. Ella sí, igual también cuando hubo, si no me recuerdo, eran 4 o 5 de sus aliados que fueron 5 minutos, está libre. Desafortunadamente por ti, voy a continuar a hablar en español, porque una vez que hablo en español ya no me puedes detener. A menos que empiece a hablar, empiece a hacer lo que debía de hacer en este stream. ¿Sí? Por eso te dije que te odio. Ok, cuando los aliados de la abuelita, déjame buscar dónde es que están. ¿Es este? Oh, sí, es esto. Estos fueron los aliados que eran parte de la congregación de, ¿cómo se llama? De la hermana Abigail. La voy a llamar Abigail porque su nombre no suena muy raro. Su nombre real es Abigail. Es like wait. Es como si estuviera mal escrito. Sister Abigail. So, esta es la forma que uno escribe el nombre de la abuelita. No, en realidad no es Abigail como uno lo piensa. Tiene A en lugar de I. Cuando ellos, estos personajes, cuando ellos murieron, también lloré. Especialmente cuando ¿cuál de estos fue el que murió al final? No recuerdo cuál fue. Pero uno de ellos sobrevive junto con el perro. El perro se queda a cuidar a uno de estos. No recuerdo quién fue con el que se queda el perrito para ¿cómo se dice? Protegerlo. Pero el resto muere. Él muere. ¿Cómo se llama? Se puede decir que es el juez. Oh, él también muere. Estos tres mueren. Sí, ya recordé. Estos tres personajes mueren. El abuelito. Bueno, no se puede. El juez. El artista. Y no recuerdo cuál fue se puede decir que su trabajo. Oh, aquí está otra. Ellos se caminan empiezan a caminar desde Oregon. No, Oregon, Boulder. Oh, no, desde Colorado. Desde Colorado van a Las Vegas a pie. Porque eso fue lo que Dios le dijo a la hermana, a la abuelita, que hicieran para poder derrotar al anticristo. Y es súper. Esta historia es bien súper. El inicio se puede decir que es lleno de acción y de horror. Pero los personajes crecen en ti. What the fuck? Ok, whatever. No, lo que sea. Oh, ahí está. Te dije que este es un animal literal. El Randall Flag. Y este tigre, este animal, aparece en la mayoría de los trabajos de Stephen King. Y en todos, tú lo vas a odiar. Es bien escrito el personaje. Y es por eso que lo vas a odiar, porque él es repugnante. Es completamente... es un desgraciado de mierda. Por falta de palabras, ese Randall Flagg es un desquiciado de mierda. Oh, aquí está otro. Esta, si no me equivoco, este es de la miniserie de Stan de 1994. El libro es mejor. El libro es mejor. Por tanto que me gusta la miniserie, el libro es mejor. Simplemente por el hecho de que te dan mucho más, te dan un, ¿cómo se dice? Background. Te dan más, ¿cómo es que se dice? Background. Te dan más detalles sobre cómo es que la abuelita de... ¿Dónde está la abuelita? Abigail. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde está abuelita? ¿Dónde es que está la abuelita? Ah, ya la perdí a la abuelita. Oh, shit. Oh, sí. En el libro te dan mucho más detalle de la historia de la abuelita. En la miniserie tú no sabes mucho tú no llegas a aprender mucho de lo que ella sufrió en su pasado. Si no me recuerdo, ella supuestamente nació en 1890 y algo, o 1880. Y para el tiempo que la miniserie empieza, ella ya es 118 años, me parece. Sí, 118 o 113. No recuerdo muy bien cuántos años tenía la abuelita en el miniserie. Pero en la miniserie no te explican mucho de qué fue lo que ella sufrió y todo eso. Y en el libro te dan, si no me equivoco, son como 5 o 6 capítulos dedicados solamente a ella. Y es bien triste, es súper triste su historia de ella. Por eso es que ya quiero llorar. Les recomiendo que vayan a ver esta miniserie. Se llama The Stand by Stephen King. Y si lo pueden, lean el libro. El libro no te la vas a arrepentir. No vas a arrepentir no haber leído. O más bien dicho, te vas a arrepentir no haber leído el libro en tiempo antes. La original, ¿sabes qué? La única razón por la que yo vi la miniserie es porque la sinopsis era era súper interesante. ¿Cómo te diré? Esencialmente yo pensaba que iba a ser algo así como una película de desastre, de desastre natural. Pero nunca pensé que se iba a volver así en algo más personal que eso. Yo estaba... ¿sabes cómo? Yo estaba esperando ¿cómo se dice? Ver Walking Dead. Pero en su lugar recibí Forrest Gump. Es la mejor forma que puedo describir eso. Porque mira, el libro, ¿cómo se dice? La portada del libro, ¿dónde está? Stand, book cover. Here we go. Ok, here we go. Aquí está. Mira la portada del libro. Esta portada del libro no te dice nada, pero es la mejor representación que uno te puede dar de lo que se trata el libro. Pero me encanta. Me encanta esta portada. No te dice nada. En la portada no tiene nada que ver con lo que pasa en el libro a primer glanza. Pero una vez que lees y terminas el libro ya te das cuenta de qué en realidad representa esta portada. Por eso, vayan a leer esos libros. De hecho, vayan a leer todo lo de Stephen King. Yo estoy tratando de leer todo lo de Stephen King. Me faltan todavía ¿cómo se llaman? Me faltan todavía varias novelas. Hasta ahora solamente, bueno, no he leído, pero más bien dicho, he estado escuchando los audiobooks, los libros de audio. He estado leyendo The Stand. Oh, what the hell? ¿Qué fue eso? Oh, maldito email. Aquí está. Ok, so he leído este libro, The Stand. He leído The Shining, o he escuchado más bien dicho. It, el payaso diabólico. ¿Cuál es el otro? Dark Tower. Todo lo de Dark Tower. The Langoliers. No tengo idea qué diablo se pronuncia Langoliers o se traduce. So, esos son hasta ahora son todas las novelas que he leído he escuchado. Muy buenas. Very good. Very epic. Ok. Ahora espero que te hayas contentado, little bro. He estado hablando en español por no tengo idea cuánto tiempo. ¿Por qué desapareció esto? Oh, ok, there we go. Aquí está. Ahora va a ser un problema tratar de hablar en inglés. Ok, lo voy a tratar. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo que qué, maldito? ¿Cómo que qué, maldita sabandija? Como dicen en Dragon Ball. Alright, here we go. Aquí está. Reset my language. There we go. I hope. Alright, so chapter 7. Like I said, Joshua is about to give up on becoming a Turok, or being a Turok, I should say. Is he gonna quit? Is he going to quit? Wink, 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 wink. I guess we'll try to find out. Chapter 7. Are you nuts? Allison had said are you nuts? Allison had said that 6 times to Josh, and each time he had not answered. Finally, against the side of the hovercraft, he looked up at her and spoke. No, Allie. I'm doing the first sensible thing I've done since this whole nightmare began. Everything I do seems to have worked out alright in the end so far, but there's just so long our luck is gonna hold out. Now, if we stay here, sooner or later, I'm going to make a mistake that will get one of us killed. If we go back to Earth, maybe we can get some help from the rest of the Sacred Nation, or call in the US Army, or something to help us storm Primogen's ship and... You're not serious, are you, Josh? Asked Barry. Go to the army. What are you gonna tell me? What are you gonna tell them? Excuse me, Mr. General, sir. There's a race of evolved dinosaurs in another dimension planning an attack on Earth. They've also been trying to kill me and my family for more than 4,000 years. So could you lend me a few tanks so I can stop a mad time traveler from returning to his universe and ripping everything apart? I want to be in the room with a video camera when you make that speech. Enough, Barry, I said to Turok, jumping to his feet and getting on his friend's face. I don't know what to do. This is all too much to me. Wait. Oh shit, it's really low. I got an idea why is it so freaking loud then. Enough, Barry, said Turok, jumping to his feet and getting on his friend's face. I don't know what to do. This is all too much to me. The responsibility of protecting Earth and all places throughout reality is that of the Turok and the Turok alone, said Adon, bringing the craft to a stationary hovering midair. If you leave now, Primogen will win, and the efforts of generations to preserve peace and life will earn for nothing. You and all that you know and love will die. My mind is made up, Adon, snapped Josh. Give me one good reason why I should listen to you. Now, if my words cannot persuade you of the urgency of your mission, perhaps another can show you, said Adon. Josh stared at her, wondering what she meant. Are you sure this is going to hold? Barry asked. Aaron cinched the enemy's... Cinch? Is that a word? I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be cling or click or something. Aaron cinched the energy rope tightly around Barry's waist. The blue translucent tether was connected to an energy anchor embedded in the ground. The energy rope extended from the anchor and circled the waist of each of the 4 travelers. This line will extend indefinitely while remaining anchored here, explained Aaron. As long as I'm alive, this line should hold, no matter what energies we may encounter in the Netherscape. If anything goes wrong, we can pull ourselves back to this point with this tether. Then let's go, Josh said, flipping the folding eye down over his face. A fall gate opening immediately snapped into view next to them. Josh eased the hovercraft forward. As the bow entered the fall gate opening, the vessel was sucked into the Netherscape, the realm between fall gate openings, with incredible force. Up, down, back, left, and right meant nothing inside the Netherscape. Reality bent and curved in all directions. Josh had gotten used to some disorientation from his last few trips, but this time was different. The gemstone of the Elder hung on a thin leather rope around his neck. The opaque stone began to glow, and the swirling mark of the Netherscape slowed and clear. Josh was amazed at how much easier it was to navigate throughout the Netherscape using the gemstone. All around them, full gates floated. Through the openings, they could clearly see life in other times, other places. Some gates showed the past of Galliana, others the past of Earth, and still others showed unknown times and places on alien worlds. Some openings revealed the present time both in the Lost Land and on Earth, but in various different locations. Other gates showed open into the future, here and everywhere. There, Aaron said, pointing off in the distance. Watch and see. Josh looked through the gate Aaron had indicated and saw a group of humans running from the lights through a moonlit night, looking over their shoulder in terror as they made their way through the bushes and branches. Suddenly, out of the trees above, a group of flesh-eater sentinels leaped on the humans. Each sentinel stood 10 feet tall and was covered from head to toe in armor. They carried swords as long as their arms, as well as guns and batons that hung around their waists on hooks. As they attacked the humans, they used none of these weapons, as they were simply satisfied to rip the terrified men, women, and children to pieces with their bare hands. The Flesh Eaters, stated Aaron. In the early time, just after the creation of Galliana, the Lost Land was overrun with this murderous race. No reason could tame their insanity. Their hunger for murder was fed by a lust to advance in the ranks by partaking on the blood of the Mother, a cancerous monstrosity that lives in their mountain stronghold. Once infused with her presence, these creatures became even more terrifying and powerful. Shifting his view to another gate, Josh saw through the opening a different view of Galliana, in which some time had passed, and a new breed of flesh eater, the Death Guard, had risen, made strong by the blood of this mother creature. Their fangs glistened with blood, and chunks of human flesh hung from their jaws. The humans in the village, visible through the gate, cowered in fear as the Death Guards advanced, their night shattered by a massive explosion and what was seemed to be gunfire. The Death Guards and all the Flesh Eaters would have hunted all of the races in the Lost Land to extinction, explained Aaron, if not for the efforts of one man. The view through the gate shifted as a tall Seikin warrior carrying the light burden stepped into view. toting a massive assault rifle in one hand and a plasma cannon in the other. This Turok of the past let out a fearsome war cry. Behind him stood an entire army of warriors, an hourglass infinity emblem like that of the Light Burden, painted on their chest. Each echoed his war cry of freedom. Tall Set was his name, continued Adon. He changed the course of history here, earning the name the Valiant One, and earning a place as one of the bravest Turoks ever to live. He ensured that life would continue not only here, but in your world as well. The battle against Pramagen is not only the concern of the Lost Land, Turok. When Pramagen's light ship ripped a piece of Earth free and deposited it here as it did with so many other worlds, it did more than link our two homes in a physical sense. Your great ancestor, Palsek Nasakin, for whom your tribe is named, and who was the first human to walk the hills of Galliana, did more than find a gateway to a lost world. The souls of Turoks and the Lost Land are tied together forever. It is a tie you can never sever, if that is truly your desire. But you would render the efforts of so many meaningless if you turn your back on your responsibility. Looking away from the gate that showed Tulset battling the flesh eaters, Josh scanned gates around him. For as far as he could see, Turoks of all ages battled the forces of evil and darkness. He watched as some died, and as others fought with wounds that would have brought lesser men to their knees. "Hey!" said Allison excitedly, pointing at another gate. "Check out Uncle Carl!" Josh watched as his uncle was attacked by fireburns and winced as he as he saw him covered with their volcanic blood, suffering the wounds that would ultimately take his life. Josh's chest filled with pride as he saw Carl continue to fight the dinosaurs, even though he surely must have felt himself dying. Josh thought back to the day, merely a week ago, in linear Earth time, when he had knelt by Carl's deathbed and seen the injuries inflicted by the fireborn, as well as the unflinching bravery of his uncle. Carl Fireseed was called the secondary because it was not really his responsibility to become Turok, Aaron explained to Josh. Carl's brother, John, your father, failed at that task and had been missing for many years when Carl became Turok to ensure that Earth and Galliana were protected and to uphold the honor of his family. The Fall Gate swirled past swiftly as Josh turned his concentration on the focusing gemstone. He saw through the moving, swaying windows in the past. There, the Turoks of all times, each carrying the light burden which had been received from the generation before, slung around their shoulders. A new gate flickered into view before Josh. Looking through, he could see his home, his sister Vivian's home in Oklahoma. In the living room, Vivian sat with Martin Sanhope, an elder of the Sequin tribe. Listening to their conversation, Josh realized that only seconds had passed on Earth since he, Barry, and Allison had disappeared from his room and entered the Lost Land. All Josh had to do to go home and end all this nightmare was to step through the Fall Gate. "Well, Turok, have you finally made your decision?" asked Adon. "I had no idea of the importance of being a Turok," he said, looking at his light burden, feeling its weight on his shoulder for perhaps the first time. "Seeing my uncle, my ancestors, I understand, I think. Well, I understand enough to know that I've got to stay and stop Pramagen." "We stay," said Allison, "though I could sure use a bowl of Bib's vegetable soup right about now." Josh knew better than to disagree with her. "Me too," Barry echoed. "I mean, the part about staying, not the part about the soup. Not that there's anything wrong with your sister's soup, mind you, Thanks, Bud," Josh replied, smiling. Then, he thought silently, I just wonder if they know what they're getting themselves into. Then again, what am I getting myself into? So what's next? Allison said as the gemstone around Josh's neck began to pulse and flicker. Josh's control over the gaze was faltering as their extended time in the Netherscape had drained the gemstone further. I say we go after the next totem, said Josh. Where would that be, Adon? The council told me that most of the remaining totems have been captured by Primogen's forces, all but 2, and they are both held there. Adon pointed a fall gate opening that showed the stronghold of the Flesh Eaters. Perfect, said Josh. Let's pay the mother of the Flesh Eaters a little visit. I think Talset would approve, don't you? The others nodded in agreement. Using the fall gate and the focusing gemstone, Josh and his friends were able to step through fall gate openings into the Flesh Eaters' mountain citadel, place explosive charges, then step back outside without being noticed. Hang on. Oh crap. My throat sucks. Explosions rocked the mountain as time concussions bombs exploded on cue all around the Flesh Eaters' main breeding pens. The startled creatures never knew what hit them. Their death screams echoed through the rubble. The passageway to the chamber of the mother was not so easy to get into. It was guarded on all sides by death guards armed with plasma energy rifles, and by even more massive members of the elite Lord of the Flesh, ghoulish, half-reptilian, half-human beasts capable of casting magical spells and vanishing into thin air at will. Josh found himself with his back pressed to a wall just outside the guard's line of fire. Any idea on what we do next? Barry asked as he joined Josh behind the wall outside the mother's chamber. I don't know how much longer this cannon you gave me is gonna last. The blast seems to be getting weaker and weaker. Taking the focusing gemstone into his hand, Josh concentrated deeply. A fall gate pathway appeared onto him, then flickered out before he could step through it. 2 more attempts resulted in the same thing. The gemstone is almost totally drained, Josh said as Adon and Allison joined them. I think if I really force it, I can get it to stay open long enough to get you through back to the hovercraft. What about you? Allison asked. I have to stay on this side and keep the gate open. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Here, he said, reaching into the light burden and withdrawing a gunny sack. Looking inside, Allison saw dozens of thick smoke glass balls, each the size of a grapefruit, all filled with an amber liquid. What are these? She asked, jostling the sack. Careful, he said. They are filled with nitroglycerin and some other pretty potent explosives. All around them, bolts of rapid-fire plasma blasts from the dead guards thundered on the wall, sending gravel showering down on them. Josh grabbed the sack and held it steadily, blocking falling debris from hitting it with his back. My son was getting better with his bag of tricks, Allison said, taking the sack back, this time holding it more carefully. Now listen up, Josh continued. Go through the gate. If I don't come through in 20 minutes, drop this down the top of the mountain. Then get out of here as fast as you can and back into the hovercraft. Got it? But what about you? Said Allison, the concern showing in her voice. You'll be killed by the explosions too. If I can't get back through the gate with the energy totems in time, I don't think it'll matter, replied Josh. The gemstone will be drained and I'll be stuck here with these beauties anyway. Understood, Turok, said Adon. Allison paused for a moment, and as if she was about to speak again. Instead, she threw her arms around her brother's neck. See you in 20 minutes, she said, and don't be late. The gemstone glimmered, and a full gate twisted open against the wall. The deck of the hovercraft was visible on the other side. Jumping through, Barry and Allison looked back to see Josh giving them a thumbs up sign. They wondered if they could see him again. Then, the gemstone went dark, its power and a chance to get back to Earth completely gone. Oh, stretchy spaghetti. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was a good stretch. And some water, because why not? Chapter 8. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Josh counted to himself, wishing he could find a watch in the light burden. Instead, withdrawing his hand, he had found a rocket launcher. Not a Rolex, but it'll do, he chuckled to himself. Stepping from behind the wall with the launcher on his shoulder, Josh tried to keep track of the minutes while addressing the dead guard on the other side of the gorge. Okay, fellas, that's enough. Back up and let me by, or there's gonna be some fireworks. Foolish Turok, the lead dead guard said. To die for the mother is to know the embrace of heaven. Sheesh, everybody in the Lost Land is sure in a big hurry to die, Josh thought as he aimed the launcher at the ground near the guard's feet. Happy to oblige, he said, firing. The Stinger missile shot across the chasm. A massive explosion shook the mountain as the missile obliterated half of the outcropping the warriors had been standing on. As they fell, Josh watched. The guards were broken and bloodied, but he was happy to see none of them had died. You show us mercy, young one, boomed a voice from behind him. Whirling, Josh found himself face to face with a Lord of the Flesh. How did he get on top of me so quietly? Tal Set would not have ever made that mistake, the Flesh Lord roared. I'm not Tal Set, Josh said, yanking a sequin talon blade out of the light burden and thrusting it at the Flesh Lord at the same time, but I'm still a Turok. The stripling has fangs, the Flesh Lord said, a faint smile spreading across his face. Whirling and dropping to a crouch, the Flesh Lord attempted to sweep Josh's feet out from under him. Adon's training with the stab snapped into his mind, and Josh leaped into the air, flipping over the Flesh Lord's head and landing behind him. And I bite, Josh said, trying to keep his head. The Flesh Lord hissed, standing and withdrawing a long dagger from behind his stomach. Skittering along the edge of the thin stone ledge, the creature raced at Josh, hacking and slashing at his midsection, causing sparks to fly off the Turok's breastplate. Sweeping his hand in a wide arcing figure eight with double-edged talon blade, Josh blocked blow after blow. As he reached the end of the ledge, Josh realized he had allowed himself to be backed into a corner. That didn't worry him too much, as he was fairly certain he could still leap over the Flesh Lord's head. But why does this guy have a constant grin on his face? Josh couldn't help thinking. Why is he so calm? What's he distracting me from? You're not going to defeat me if that's your best, Turok said with a great bravado. So just get out of the way and let me in to see the mother, and maybe I won't slit your throat. I doubt you would slit my throat, the Flesh Lord said, a mocking tone on his voice. Besides, keeping you from the mother is the last thing I would do. Josh felt a tingle run up his spine, and he realized too late what was going on. As they fought, the Flesh Lord had been using a hand motions to cast a spell of displacement on him. Racked with a gut-turning sensation, totally unlike what he felt when passing through a fall gate, Josh felt the world drop away, then come crashing down on his head. 1 second, Josh was all the way inside a cavern fighting with the Lord of the Flesh. The next second, he was inside what could only be the egg sac covered walls of the mother chamber. Welcome, Joshua Fireseed, said a voice that sounded almost like a record playing backward. Josh tried to move and found that he was sealed inside a cocoon of hard rock. Out of the corner of his eye, the mother appeared. covered with running swords and dripping with a sticky luminous slime. The beast tilted its head towards Josh, its eye rolling around in its socket to look in his direction. "Set me free," Josh said flatly. "Now, why would I do that, Sakin?" said the mother in her bizarre voice. "You break into my home, kill my children, and threaten my life, and I expect that I will set you free at your command. You do not frighten me, pretender. My kind has killed many of your kind over the millennia. Your life is mine to end." "You're the only one who's gonna die, mother," said Josh, struggling against the bindings. "Pramagen is gonna destroy this place and everything else in the Lost Land if you don't set me free." "I suppose you have come for this," the creature stated, gesturing with its cracked, cancerous hand towards the two remaining totems. The totems pulsated with power on each side of the hideous beast. "I must disappoint you, human. I plan to give this to Pramagen as a symbol of my commitment to him. In return, he has promised that my children and I will return to his universe with him and serve as his personal army, protectors of his rule in that segment of time and space." "You're a fool if you believe he'll play straight with you," said Josh. "Oh, I am quite aware he plans to betray me the moment he returns to his home, but he cannot live without me as long as I have the energy totems to block his departure. Once we're away from Galliana, I will deal with him. I can defeat him in his home, and then my children will have a whole new universe to conquer. His universe." Mother let out a sound that was somewhere between coughing and laughing. Josh was about to respond when a massive explosion shocked the whole mountain, sending stalactites plummeting from the high vaulted ceiling. 20 Mississippi, he thought, as his own rocky cocoon split into a million pieces. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. "Shouldn't we wait a little longer?" Allison said, as Adon steered the hovercraft over the mouth of the mountain top. In truth, the mountain was a dormant volcano, its heat providing a warm incubator for the growth of the creatures the mother spawned below. If Pramagen gets those two remaining totems, he may be able to channel enough power to start his lightship, said Adon, knowing her next words would not be well received. "It has been 20 minutes. The council will ensure that a new Turok will be trained." "Just like that?" shouted Allison. "A new Turok? Like a new shirt? That's my brother you're talking about, Adon. He's saved all of our lives 1,000 times over since we went here. He deserves a few more minutes." "No, Allison," said Barry. "What did you say?" Allison snapped. "Josh is my friend too, Allie," Barry said softly. For the first time in his life, there was no trace of humor in his voice. "But you saw the same things we did in the Netherscape. This is bigger than us, bigger than Josh. We have to make sure that everything doesn't just disappear. Josh understood this when he pushed us through the gate." Allison looked at Barry, not believing her ears. "So we're just gonna let him die?" "No, we make sure everyone else keeps on living," he answered. Allison sat in stony silence, guiding the hovercraft as high as they could. Adon tilted the vessel so Allison could release the glass bombs. As they fell towards the mouth of the mountain, Adon jammed the controls of the craft hard to the left, steering the ship quickly out of range. The explosions that echoed through the mountain triggered a lava flow through the fissures in the mother's birth chamber. The exact web to the walls burst into flames. A high-pitched whine filled the air as the developing creatures screamed in agony. Josh clambered Josh clambered up the side of the outcropping, barely keeping ahead of the rushing lava flow. His main concern at the moment was trying to stay ahead of the mother, who was wading through the lava after him. "This is your doing, Flesh! You have killed us all!" she screamed. "Consider it a present from Tulset, Mother," shouted Josh. A horrid sound of bubbling, crackling, insect-like skin mixing with wails of pain filled the cavern as the lava consumed the mother, drawing her and the two energy totems beneath the surface to its glowing wake. "That's two totems that the Primogen won't be getting his hands on," Josh thought with satisfaction as he watched the totems explode, scattering their healing energy through the lost land. "And my name is not Flesh, it's Turok." Surrounded on all sides by lava with nowhere to go, Josh snapped the folding knife down into place. Looking around, he was horrified to find this room had no fall gates. "Slick move, Turok," he thought. The lava continued to rise. Reaching into his light burden, he groped about for something that might help with him. His fingers brushed against something hot, and for a moment he thought the lava had burned through the bottom of the satchel. Pulling his hand out, he saw that his skin was covered to his elbow in a yellowish green glowing liquid. It burned, but it was cold at the same time. On a hunch, Josh reached out and held his hand above the lava flow. He did not feel the heat. Plunging his hand into the light burden again and again, he scooped out some more and more of the green liquid, covering every inch of his body with it, smearing it on the outside of the light burden as well. Thoroughly coated, he stepped out onto the lava and immediately sank beneath the surface. Half falling, half swimming, Josh found himself alive and whole beneath the lava, protected by the magical Turok talisman. All around him, red glowing chunks of molten earth surged and flowed, carrying him towards the doorway to the chamber, which had been eaten away. Finding firm ground beneath his feet at the bottom of the chamber, Josh began walking towards the exit. Allison sank, dangling her feet over the hovercraft, looking at the volcano that raged full force below them. There was no sign of her brother. "You know, I still owe Josh $25 for fronting me the dock to buy Windows 98, said Barry, trying to be comforting. You know how he is. I'm sure he'll leave just to collect." Allison looked at him with tears in his eyes. His comforting wasn't working. Adon stood alone near the back of the hovercraft. She felt ashamed as she watched the lava spill over the lip of the volcano. This Turok was braver than I believed he could be, she thought. Suddenly, Barry screamed, pointing over the side of the craft. "Look, there he is!" Allison leaped to her feet, and Adon ran to the edge of the hovercraft to join them. Looking down, walking out of the waterfall of raging lava and magma, was Josh, glowing an iridescent green. "The Heart of Fire," Adon said, almost to herself. "What?" said Barry. "The Heart of Fire," she repeated. "It is a sacred Turok talisman. It has provided with him a salve to protect him from the lava. It is quite powerful, and it can only be worn by a true Turok." "That's my brother," Allison squealed, hugging Adon and Barry. "Let's go down and get him." Grabbing the controls, Adon steered the craft towards Josh, and for the first time since this whole adventure had begun, she smiled. "Cannonball!" Josh shouted as he jumped up from the top of a cliff, tucked his legs under him, and executed 1, 2, 3 spins before exploding in the water, sending a spray high into the air. "No!" shrieked Allison, covering her head. It was too late. The cascade of water drenched everyone sitting by the edge of the small lake. The surprise shower had another effect on Adon. Her holographic skin rippled. The bioelectric circuits that made up her body began glowing a sulfur brew. "Very funny, Turok." "Hey, come on, relax everybody," Josh implored. He himself was feeling the most relaxed he had felt since the day of his older sister Vivian fetched him home to talk with his dying uncle. The day this whole Lost Land ordeal began. "Week 1, Josh continued. "Bottom of the night, 2 outs, game on the line, and bam! Fireseed blasts a homer to win one for the Turok All-Stars. Instead of a Louisville slugger, it was the Heart of Fire talisman, and instead of some steroid-powered lefty on the mound, it was the mother of the flesh eaters inside a mountain. But the box score will still show that Joshua Fireseed, aka Turok, came through when the pressure was on. Right, Adon? After all, we have 3 of the energy totems, old Bramagen only has 6, and 3 were destroyed or at least halfway through the center of the air by now. As long as half of the totems are safe and protected, old Mr. Homesick Alien can power up his flagship and end the party for everybody else. Now, come in and take a swim." Wait, what? "We must stay ever vigilant," said Adon, her holographic image reforming. "Pramagen is clever. We have not seen the last of him. Besides, I do not swim." "You don't know how to swim," said Josh, wading over to the side of the lagoon. "You never learn how to swim." "I am the Speaker of the Council of Voices. The Council does not need me to swim, so I never learn." "You may be the Speaker of the Council, but you're still a teenager. Loosen up and have some fun." "I am not a teenager, Turok. I have lived for over 500 years. Stop right there," said Josh, ducking out of the way as Allison jackknifed him into the water, figuring out it was better to get wet on her own terms than to get soaked again by Josh. "You are not 500 years old. Parts of your memory are 500 years old. Maybe some of the bioelectric circuits that make up your body have seen a century or two, but you're still Adon, a young woman. I know I couldn't have come this way without your help. I wish you would allow yourself to have some fun." Adon blinked, shocked at the audacity of what Josh was saying. She was even more shocked to realize that he was right. She looked to Allison for help. "Don't look at me," said Allison. "You're on your own." "I know how to have fun," Adon said, looking at the ground. "Yeah," said Josh, slapping the water and sending a splash arcing towards her. "Try to prove it." Adon looked around at the camp and, after a moment, closed her eyes. "I'm waiting," teased Josh. Adon's expression became more intense. Then a rippling wake made its way through the water to where Josh and Allison's were paddling. A swirling funnel of water moved all around and beneath them. Then, just as fast as it had appeared, it was gone. "What was that?" Josh asked, his voice trailing off as Allison laughed in the air. Looking over his sister, Josh saw what she was pointing in the air above him. Totally unable to control herself, craning his neck, he saw that what she had found so funny. Floating above him, just out of reach, were his pants, surrounded by a glowing energy field that stretched around the lake and connected to Adon's furrowed brow beneath her furrowed brow. Her mouth formed a huge smile. "Give me back my pants," Josh shouted, lunging up to the out of the water, then ducking back down swiftly when he realized that he was naked from the waist down. "Now, who doesn't know how to have fun?" said Adon, as Josh reached, then bobbed down back, grabbing at his pants in vain. While the others were swimming, Barry stayed back in the hovercraft. Josh wanted him to swim and play with them, but Barry said that he was feeling tired and just felt like resting. All this adventure had taken a lot out of him. But he didn't tell Josh that for the last few hours he had been having massive headaches, and he thought that he had been hearing voices in his head. He didn't recognize the voices, and he couldn't make out what they were saying, but they were disturbing nonetheless. Josh has enough to worry about with saving the lost land without having to worry about me, Barry thought to himself as he walked over the bow of the craft. The three totems were still locked beneath the energy field Adon had erected around them. "Take them," said the strange voice in his head. Barry shook his head and tried to focus. It felt as if he had blacked out for a moment. And he looked down and saw that he was pressing against the energy field, trying to get through it. "What am I doing?" he said to himself, pulling his hand back. "I must get some sleep. I'm starting to Take them." Barry grabbed the sides of his head. He was sure of it this time. He clearly heard a voice, and he clearly heard exactly what he was saying. "Take them. Bring them to me." Barry stumbled back against the side of the hovercraft, placing his hand in front of his face, trying to shake off the pain in his head. He pulled his hand away from his eyes, only to see that they were now two massive purple claws. "Take them!" the voice now shouted. "Ah!" Barry screamed as the voice in his head knocked him on the floor of the craft. "Did you hear that?" asked Adon, turning in the direction of the hovercraft. With her concentration broken, Josh's pants fell from the sky, landing in the water next to him. "Sounded like Barry," Josh said, pulling his fan as he ran out of the water. "I knew we shouldn't have left him alone. Come on." Sprinting across the open ground between the lake and the hovercraft, Josh cursed himself for ever bringing Barry and Allison to the Lost Land in the first place. "Being Turok is my responsibility, not theirs. I have no right risking their lives, like they listen to me anyway." He prayed that his friend was alright. He was not prepared for what he was waiting. Coming up short in front of the craft, Josh was shocked to see that the entire left side of Barry's head had turned a bright crimson and had grown a long mane of stringy black hair next to Barry's own neatly trimmed blonde crew cut. "Barry?" Josh asked, stepping forward slowly, watching the physical transformation of his friends wash over Barry's body like a wave. "Don't get any closer to him," Adon warned, placing a hand on Josh's chest, restraining him. "That's not Barry anymore." "Well, who in the name of the Lost Land is it?" asked Josh. "It is Primogen," replied Adon, all emotion drained from her voice. "What?" Josh said. "Yes. Listen to your speaker, Josh," said a voice from Barry's throat that was clearly not Barry's voice. It was a deeper, more echo-filled voice that sounded as if it were coming from all directions. "Be the lapdog of the council, as Turoks have always been," continued the voice. "Don't think of yourself. They wouldn't like that." "What's happening to Barry?" Allison asked, fear filling her voice. Primogen must have sensed that Barry had been seriously drained by the battle in the Flesh Eater's Mountain, far more than the rest of us, Adon whispered to Allison as Josh tried to move around to Barry's Primogen blind side. While the transformation seemed to be imparting Primogen's power onto Barry, Josh hoped that he might be able to surprise him if he could get close enough. He's used his powerful mind to take over Barry's body. "He's inside Barry's head," Allison whispered back. "Okay, is anyone else totally skipped out?" "It is a weak, sniveling body, but it serves my purpose," said Primogen, looking down at Adon. With each passing second, more of Barry's physical form disappeared, replaced by the form of Primogen. "And there is no need to whisper. I can sense and hear everything around me. Everything." With that, Primogen fired twin bolts of energy through Barry's outstretched hands. One struck Adon, causing her bioelectric circuits to sputter and her holographic picture image to fade momentarily, immobilizing her. The other bolts headed for Josh, who had circled around behind the alien's beast. Josh evaded the blast, leaping into the air and a somersault that carried him right into the hovercraft. Landing and rolling across the floor of the craft, Josh knocked the legs out from under the Barry Primogen creature, sending him sprawling flat on his back. Springing up, Josh looked across the floor to see that the physical appearance of Barry was now completely gone. The full image of Primogen now stood before him, having completely taken over Barry's body, and was quickly moving towards the plasma rifle sitting on the deck. Primogen's 4 arms and 2 legs were covered with a thick insect-like shell. His upper arms could extend 6 feet out from his body and had a sharp pincer-like claws. A shiny purplish blue hue radiated from his body and reflected the yellow light of his lightship. His head seemed to grow right out of his curved back, with no neck, and ended in a narrow, expressionless face. "Turok!" Adon shouted. Primogen shot her a look. His energy blast had frozen her in her tracks, his eyes darting back and forth between Primogen and Adon. Josh could see from the corner of his vision that the creature had taken one of the plasma rifles in hand and was pointing it at the force field protecting the cluster of energy totems sitting on the deck of the ship. "Stop him! Kill him!" shouted Adon, her voice filled with a commanding tone unlike anything Josh had ever heard from the speaker. "You must kill him before he takes the totems. It's the only way to stop him." Josh swiftly withdrew his tech bow from the light burden and loaded a translucent blue neuropathic tech arrow. "I can't kill Barry," he said. "He's my best friend." "That is exactly what Primogen is counting on, Turok," replied Adon forcefully. "If you don't kill him, then he will win, and Barry will die anyway. We'll all die. Everyone on Earth, everyone you have ever known or loved. Our life will end. You have to kill him. Turok, it's the only way." "Choom!" echoed the recoil of the plasma rifle as the Primogen fired blast after blast at the energy barrier Adon had erected around the totems. The craft bucked and heaved with each blast. The energy barrier held for the moment. "Josh!" Adon said with a calm voice. Josh looked at her. It was the first time she had ever called him anything aside from Turok or Protector of the Earth. Her eyes locked with his, energy coursing around her, still unable to move. "I can't maintain the barrier forever in my weakened state. You must kill him. It is the only way." Josh looked from Allison, who was frozen in fear and confusion, to Primogen, whose blasts were starting to have an effect on the energy shield, and finally his tech bow. Protector of the Earth, he reminded himself. Concentrating, Josh gripped the tech bow arrow tightly, its color fluctuating from blue to green to red. He knew by this time that the blue neuropathic arrows could do more than just disrupt its victim's senses. Properly focused, the Josh wielding the thick bow could manipulate the energies channeled through the arrows to stun, cripple, or kill. Loading the red arrow, he raised the bow and aimed at the figure who only moments before had been his best friend. Time froze. The muscles of Josh's bow arm nodded and shook. Memories flooded back. Josh and Barry riding their first bikes together, falling over and skinning their knees. Protector of Earth. The day of Josh's first big baseball game in junior high, his father nowhere to be seen, but Barry right there, a one-man cheering section, screaming louder than anyone else in the stands. Defender of the lost land. The day Uncle Carl died and Josh received the light burden, and how Barry tried to help him figure out how it worked. The Turok, the mantle, the burden, the council of voices showing the end of all life across universes if Primogen were to win, and how the lives of all living creatures depended on him. Warrior of the sacred nation. Barry hanging upside down the campaigner's arena, condemned to die, risking his life time and time again to help him. Then Adon's voice said, "It is absolutely the only way." Josh lowered the bow. "I can't do it," he said, slightly sadly. "I can't kill my best friend." "And that's why you will lose," said Primogen. A laugh, more like the rattle of a dead thing shaking free from a centuries-old grave, shrouded out of Barry's chest as Primogen pointed the rifle at the deck of the covercraft and fired another plasma blast at the energy shield. The energy shield buckled, then collapsed. Pramajit threw down his rifle and raised his fist into the air. A hole opened in the sky right above his head. Tornado force winds pulled the three totems from the deck of the hovercraft and sucked them into the hole in the sky. I am free! A voice echoed all around them, from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. With a thunderclap, the hole slammed shut. The sky cleared and the howling wind died down. Josh looked over at Barry, who was lying still on the ground. Making his way over to the body, which once again looked like Barry, Josh helped his friend sit up. Barry looked at Josh, then around at the wreckage. Confusion filled his eyes. Allison rushed over and rested a hand on Josh's back as Josh looked over at Adon. She was staring at the spot in the sky where the last three totems had just disappeared. Ooh! Damn! There we go. Oh boy, yeah, you know what? More stretch. There we go. Good. Maybe I should do this more often. What are you looking at, little bro? That's totally not a disembodied hand that you just saw. Wait, you know what? I want to do a little bigger stretch. There we go. Technology. Ouch, my back. Ouch. You know what? I need to buy a new chair. This chair sucks. It was like $50 when I bought it, or maybe 60. I don't remember. I want to buy one of those gamer chairs. What are they called? I don't even know how much they cost. And I hate if they were to cost like $500. Oh, you know what? I think it'll be better if I just get an office chair from one of those startups that just seem to pop out of nowhere and then disappear. All right. Or maybe a yoga ball. One of those big ass yoga balls. Although I'm pretty sure it's not gonna fit here. Okay. Chapter 9, Capítulo 9. Crickets chirp, frogs croaked, and the cold knife breeze whispered through the tree branches. These sounds, along with the constant crackle of the campfire, were the only sounds filling the silence. No one had spoken a word since the totems had disappeared 4 hours earlier. Somebody say something, Allison finally said. Even the crickets fell silent as the others around the campfire shot her nasty looks. Okay, don't talk, she commented, tossing the twig with which she had been poking at the ground into the campfire. What's to say, Barry said, standing up and tossing his jacket, one of the few things he was able to salvage from his transformation, from his shoulders. I turned into Linda Blair from The Exorcist, and now the world, the whole universe everywhere, is going to die. And the strange thing is, I don't even remember it happening. I had a terrible headache, and the next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground, and the totems, not to mention the hovercraft, are destroyed. Don't be hard on yourself, Barry. 9. Oh yeah, I don't have the TTS thing on today. Because I know it's gonna annoy me, or like interrupt me. Not annoy me, interrupt me. Don't be so hard on yourself, Barry, said Adon, who was sitting on a rock. She placed a comforting hand on his arm. I should have anticipated that Pramajin would make a bid for the totem we had rescued. I let my pride as speaker cloud the wisdom of the council has given me. Well, began Allison, kicking a clump of dirt into the fire. If I had done more than just stand there and stare like a statue, I could have helped you stop him, Adon. Stop it! Shouted Josh. The others turned to face Josh, who was still sitting with his knees pulled up close to his chest. The light burden sat on the ground just in front of him, its black hourglass infinite emblem staring up at him. Sorry, Josh, said Allison. It's just that. Don't say you're sorry, Allie, Josh grunted, still obviously angry, but trying not to take it out on her. None of you have anything to be sorry about. I dropped the ball here. I was supposed to be Turok, I guess. I never really knew what that meant. Maybe I'm more like my father than I care to admit. I chose my friends' lives over the lives of every living thing in the universe, and now we're all gonna die, so don't say you're sorry. But we have to try and do something, said Barry. I don't know about the rest of you, Josh said, picking up the light burden and hugging it to his chest. But I know what I'm going to do. Go to sleep and hope that there is a tomorrow to wake up to. Josh rolled over, his back to the campfire. He sighed as his friend watched in silence. Adon started to move towards him, opening her mouth to speak, when Allison placed a hand on her arm, shaking her head quietly agreeing that perhaps it might not be the best to leave him alone. The others lay down for the night as well. Before long, Josh fell into a deep sleep. Wake up, soldier! Josh heard the startling order barked at him by a gruff voice. It felt as if a kick from a hard, army-booted foot had slammed into his side. Sitting bolt upright, Josh looked around. He was no longer at the campsite, and his sister and friends were gone. While he had never been here before, he somehow knew where here was. His glade was the gathering place, where, through the cross-time nature of the Lost Land, he could meet the Turoks of all ages, both past and future. Standing around him were Sergeant Turok, the war slave, a soldier in World War II, Yannick, the fragment son, a descendant of Josh from the year 3030, who was more machine than human, his limbs replaced by cybernetic extensions, his torso connected to his legs by a magnetic energy barrier, Talset, the valiant one, who fought for freedom in the time of the American Civil War, and even Josh's uncle, Carl Fireseed the Secondary, whose recent death seemed to have no meaning out here in the time-crossed expanse of the Lost Land. Wait. There were other Turoks present as well. Most he didn't recognize, other than the fact that they were all wearing the same breastplate as he, and each carrying their own light burden. Josh knew this was no dream. Looking to his side, he saw that his light burden was open. He must have opened it in his sleep and wailed himself here. Why have you called this gathering, Josh? Asked Carl. You should be back in the Lost Land, stopping Primogen. He cannot be allowed to start his ship. I failed, Uncle Carl, said Josh. You never should have given me this light burden. My mistakes are gonna lead to the destruction of everything. No, Joshua Fireseed, said Talset, stepping forward. He reached into the light burden and pulled out 2 owl feathers. Your loss of the totems may have threatened Primogen, but you can still stop him. You just have to believe in yourself and believe in the power of the light burden. It can help you. You speak of it as if it were alive, as well as Adon did back at the River of Souls, said Josh. What does everybody think this bag is so important? Talset reached forward and placed one of the feathers in Josh's bandana. Josh's vision blurred for a moment, then snapped back to crystal clarity. He was still in the glade of the gathering, but between each of these fellow Turok he could see Primogen, young and tall, standing at the controls of his lightship. What am I seeing? Owls, of all birds, have eyes that look forward, as humans do, said Talset, placing the other feather in his own headband. But they can also see at night, see behind themselves. They can see where they have come and see far into where they are going. They see all aspects of their world. You must learn to look at your world with new eyes. What you see is Primogen's lightship at the point when he attempted to see the beginning of time. It was this journey of folly and brashness that rippled a hole in space and helped create the Lost Land. The energy released by this journey drew pieces of all worlds into his ship, forming the Lost Land. When Palsegna Sakin, our ancestor, the first Turok, found a piece of this same energy encased in amber, he placed it in the light burden. The energy in the light burden is energy that touches all universes at the same time. Since his foolhardy journey, Primogen has wanted to return to a home that no longer exists. He deludes himself into believing that such a trip is possible, but it is not. His attempt, should he try, will spell the end of everything. But how do I fight someone who believes so strongly that his impossible journey can be completed? And asked Josh, struggling to understand, searching for an answer. He'll destroy the Lost Land, Earth, everything for nothing, but I can't stop him. To stop him, you have not to fight him, replied Janik. To win, you have to help him. Give him what he wants. What do you mean? Asked Josh. If I help him start the lightship, the energy will destroy the Lost Land and everything else with it. You already know in your heart, said Carl, as the light around him and the other Turoks began to fade. Josh could feel himself slipping away back to the world of the Lost Land. Learn to see the light with new eyes, nephew. We're all depending on you. Josh opened his eyes to a rumbling that was shaking the ground. Josh, wake up! Allison yelled, running across the campground. How could you sleep during an earthquake? Earthquake? Said Josh, sitting up and looking at his light burden. The flap was still open. Flipping it shut, he slung the strap over his shoulder and stood up. He realized that his physical body had disappeared into the light burden during the gathering of the Turoks. Looking around, squinting against the daylight, he could see that what looked like a rip in a sheet crossing the sky to the north, where just the night before there were trees, a waterfall, and a mountain range in the distance. Now there was nothing, not even the blue sky or clouds, stars, and swirling cosmic dust gathered in its place. Stars and swirling cosmic dust raged in this place, held at bay as if Josh were looking out at the heavens through a window in space. What's happening? The end has begun, said Adon. With the master energy sources from the totems, Primogen has begun to pull all of the energy of the Lost Land. He intends to use it to fuel his lightship, but with its energy being channeled into the ship, the Lost Land is ripping itself apart at the seams. As this place collapses, it will become a massive black hole, consuming everything and all places through all the universe that the Lost Land touches. Nothing will be able to escape its pull. Another tremor shocked the ground, uprooting trees and setting boulders to rolling down the sides of the cliffs near the campsite. Dodging failing rocks and flaming clumps of earth caught by the volcanic splits into the air, the four travelers hid beneath a stone overhang. Josh, lost in thought, looked at the light burden. The energy in the light burden is energy that touches all universe at the same time. Tulset voice came back to Josh. He repeated the phrase out loud. Galliana to Josh. Come in, Josh, said Barry, nervously patting out of the cedars of flaming earth as they were burning through his pant legs. What are you talking about, bud? Learn to see the light with new eyes, he said. New eyes. I know what I have to do, Josh screamed. I have to stop Primogen. Running like a man possessed, Josh dashed out from under the overhand and stared off into the woods. Where are you going? Shouted Adon. To Primogen's lightship, replied Josh. I have to stop him, and somehow I think I know what must be done. Well, we're coming too, said Ellison, stepping forward. No, yelled Josh, stopping. Facing his friends, he tried to be calm. No, this is something I have to do alone, that only Turok can do. It's because of the Fireseed family that the Earth is connected to the Lost Land, and I have to defend it. Hey, I'm a Fireseed too, Josh, replied Allison angrily. You have to let me help me. You are helping me. By staying here and being safe. Shut back Josh. Trust me, Allie, this is something I have to do, for all of us, for that. Josh looked at Adon. You understand, don't you? Adon looked at Josh, sensing a new confidence within him that she had not seen before. I understand, she said calmly. Allison looked from Josh to Adon, then back to Josh again. Running from under the shelter, she threw her arms around her brother. Well, I don't understand, said Allison, tears forming in the corner of her eyes. Not totally, but I trust you. Just don't get yourself killed out there. Not in my plan, he said, hugging her back. Keep an eye on Barry. Then he turned to his friends. Keep an eye on Allison. Looking over to Adon, Josh was silent. Adon also did not speak what she had. Looking over to Adon, Josh was silent. Adon also did not speak. But they had to say to each other, both already knew. Tightening the light burden across his chest, Turok ran off into the woods towards Primogen's lightship. Oh, there we go. Chapter 10. Another stretch. Alright. Okay, here we go. And some water. Wait, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go real quick to the bathroom. And I'll be back. Give me 3 minutes. Yeah, more or less 3 minutes.
Stay cool, baby.
Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Yeah, bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Yeah, bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Yeah, bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit.
Just a little time out. Scratch. Damn! Stand up. Fall down. Stand up. Yeah, that's right. Fall
Stand up. Yeah, that's right. Fall down. I'm in the zone, baby. Bring it on, sucker. This is my kind of shit. Hell yeah. I love that. I love the cold rap. Here we go. Chapter 10. Weird noises I make. I swear, I make weird noises. Hopefully nobody likes them. Or maybe there's somebody who actually likes them. And I just don't know. Chapter 10. I'm gonna stop Primogen's lightship. I say to them, like I know where it is. Josh murdered through himself as he ran through the woods. He had a feeling that the best course to the ship lay in the direction of the most destruction, but he was not sure. 300-foot tall sequoia trees filled the land ahead, their trunk as wide as some of the buildings in Oklahoma. He stopped for a moment and looked around. One direction looked pretty much like another out here. How am I going to find Primogen? Thinking back over the lessons he had learned in the gathering place with other Turoks, Josh remembered something Sergeant Turok had told him. The war slave, Turok in the 1940s. Turok in the 1940s told him of the time when he was lost in the middle of the night, separated from his troops, and that the light burden had guided him back. Josh looked down at the satchel and concentrated. A sensation filled his body, and when he looked up, he saw a path of light emanating from the light burden through the woods, pointing to the north. Thanks, great grandfather, he called out as he ran faster than ever before. The rest of his journey took about 5 minutes, and as Josh approached the edge of a ravine, he noticed that the sun was going down. Maybe it'll be easier to sneak inside once it's dark, he thought, as he walked slowly. The guiding beam of light had faded from the light burden. The edge of the cliff ahead was in an area more exposed. Exposed, he thought. That means no place to hide. I really hope that Primogen doesn't have any guards posted. Leaning over the edge of the ravine, Josh saw Primogen's lightship and realized, even in broad daylight, it would be easy to approach. The ship was as large as a city and had apparently come to a halt. The ship was as large as a city and had apparently come to a halt no stand in the ground after its fall from millions of years ago. If the part that was chosen through the rampart vegetation all around its base was any indication, the Primogen was the most immense single structure ever constructed by a living being. Plunging his hand into the light burden, Josh withdrew the war blade, a large, extremely sharp weapon carved out of wood, and began hacking through the undergrowth, easing himself down to the side of the ravine onto a thick tree root as he did. About halfway down, Josh noticed why there were no guards on duty outside the lightship. The entire vessel was surrounded by a ravenous, living, writhing bed of vegetation that consumed anything that came close. I'm not going to get in this way, he said, lowering the blade to his side. Almost in automatic response, the flap of the satchel opened and out leaped the spirit grapple. Talk about reading my mind, Josh said, feeling more connected to the light burden than he ever had. He grabbed the stout end of the grappling hook and swung his arm around in a wide arc. Having built up enough momentum, Josh let the grapple fly. Bridging the spans between the ravine wall and the lightship, the grapple ran around the ship's tail section. Releasing his grip onto the tree root, Josh slid along the wire of the spirit grapple and glided across to the lightship. No door, Josh said, clambering around the sides of the upturned ship. Another earthquake shook the land, causing a cascade of boulders to rain down the sides of the ravine. From the light burden, Josh removed several ground explosive charges with suction devices on the bottoms. Clamping 3 devices to a venting panel, Josh punched the timer and ran to the other side of the ship's exhaust tower. The explosion shook the entire ship, causing huge boulders to fall. Josh counted on these boulders to keep the guards inside, and to deter Primogen from realizing he was trying to invade his compound. Circling back around to the exposed side of the ship, Josh entered through the now gaping hole in the hull. He could hear the piercing wail of the security alarm that had been triggered by the explosions. So much for the element of surprise, Josh thought with a chuckle. Once inside, the beam of light from the light burdens reappeared. "Let the way then," Josh said, hoping the bag's instincts were better than his. Rounding a corner, Josh came up short, finding himself face to face with a battalion of Primogen's soldiers, a cross-section of creatures from the Lost Land. The troop that was made up of a Raptoid, a Fireborn, and a trio of flesh-eating dead guards. "Wonderful," thought Josh. "The gang's all here." He snapped his head forward to flip the folding eye into place, just in case he had to evade them by stepping through a fall gate. Plunging both hands into the light burden as he ran forward, Josh was happy that Allison and Barry were with him. Without the worries of trying to protect them, he would be free to focus all his attentions on fighting Primogen's soldiers. The first to move towards him was the Fireborn, sweeping out at him with a lizard-like talon. Before he could reach him, Josh had already withdrawn his hands from the light burden. A firestorm cannon in his left hand, a double-headed talon blade strapped to his right. Passing beneath the Fireborn's reach, he sliced its side open, spilling lava-like blood across the hallway floor. The creature's blood began to eat a hole in the floor as Josh pivoted into midair, firing a series of blasts at the Fireborn from the firestorm cannon. The recoil from the cannon not only knocked Josh clear of the raging hot blood, but knocked the Fireborn into the lead flesh-eating dead guard. The screams of the Fireborn was drowned out by the wail of the dead guard, whose flesh was eaten from his bone by the Fireborn's boiling blood. "Gross!" said Josh as he landed and rolled to a stop. He sat up, just as four spiked blades impaled themselves into the floor next to where his head had been a second earlier. Looking up, he saw the second and third death guards standing ready to attack. Their speed was greater than he could have thought at the first. They raced across the hallway and landed on top of him in a blur of motion. Josh was able to avoid immediate harm thanks to the mystical enchantments of the breastplates he wore, but he knew that such close quarters, it was only a matter of time before the death guards would do some real damage. He reached into the light burden and found the small disc, which he hid in the palm of his hand. "Die, Turok," the lead death guard said. "Bring your head back to Primogen will bring me much glory in his army." "Don't go counting on that glory just yet, ugly," Josh said, ramming a nick into the creature's chest and flipping him over his head. The death guard landed with a thud on his back, quickly flipping over, getting to his feet and charging back at Josh. With the leverage that getting one of the death guards off his chest gave him, Josh was able to roll the other one to his side, dragging them both into a fall gate opening made visible by his folding eye. Reappearing halfway down the hallway through another opening, Josh then slapped the small disc he had been hiding onto the chest of the second guard. A slicing sound filled the air as a series of barb-tipped wires ejected from the disc, forming a restraining net around the guard, pinning him to the wall. "Try not to mess the hull too much with your bleeding," said Josh as he stepped back through the fall gate. The guard, not knowing what Josh meant, struggled against the net until he heard a rhythmic beeping. Looking down, he saw that on the face of the disc was an explosive charge with a counter that read 3, 2. Blam! A huge blast shook the hull as Josh reappeared from the fall gate behind the soldiers. The killing of the death guard was not anything Josh wanted, but there was too much at stake now to risk not getting to Primogen before he was able to power up the ship. "Wait!" he whistled, making the soldier spin around. "Looking for me?" "You killed my brother," said the first death guard. "Your heart will bleed in my hand for that." I'll take a rank check if you don't mind," Josh said as he stepped backwards, not wanting to turn his attention from the three beasts in front of him. The Raptoid had yet to make a move, and Josh was more worried about that beast than the remaining dead guard or the wounded Fireborn, who was now on his feet again, clutching his side to cover his gaping wound. The floor sloped behind Josh as the corridor curved, and as the guards slowly stalked toward him, the raptor smiled. "We know this house better than you do, Turok. There's no getting out." Huh? The dead guard having a brother? They have multiple brothers, in fact. Hello, Joseph Fires. Hello, Joseph. Welcome. Long days and pleasant nights, so I say. I'm currently on chapter 10 of the novel. Actually, Turok has already killed like most of the flesh eaters. I'm nearing the climax of the novel. So pretty much the only ones he's fighting, the bad guys Joshua is fighting, are dudes close to the Primogen. I need to get reading Arena of Doom and Path of Destruction. Epic. Do it. I'm gonna read them on stream anyway, so I'll be doing a very long read. Or maybe not. These novels take me roughly 4 hours to complete. I think the first one was the only novel that took me like, how long did it took me? I think it took me like 3 streams to complete. There we go. I should have done that earlier. Whatever. Alright, here we go. Let's continue. The floor sloped behind Josh as the corridor curved, and as the dead guard slowly stalked toward him, the Raptoid smiled. "We know this house better than you do, Turok. There's no getting out." "Who said anything about getting out?" Josh said, looking up at the ceiling of the corridor. "I'd better wait where I'm supposed to be," he thought. Aiming at the ceiling with the firestorm cannon at the metal plating overhead, Josh fired until it caved in. He knew that the rubble would not hold them for long, but he hoped that what was on the other side would. Tendrils of green vines snaked down through the gaping hole as the flesh-eating plants, drawn by the smell of roasting flesh and the fireborn's blood, groped about for food. "Arrgh!" the creatures screamed as Josh watched the vines engulf each of the soldiers. Stepping away from the carnage, Josh started down the hallway when a battle cry, more growl than words, filled his ears. He hardly had time to turn when the Raptoid was on him. Missing an arm, the creature slammed Josh to the wall, knocking the firestorm cannon out of his hand. Using the talon still strapped to his other wrist, Josh tried to gouge the monster, but couldn't get a good hook into him. The Raptoid's fangs rang a chunk out of Josh's shoulder, its saliva stinging as it mixed with Josh's blood. Ugh! Got bit. Almost instinctively, Josh rolled to the side and stepped through a fall gate on the wall next to him, dragging the Raptoid with him. Off balance, Josh stumbled back into the Netherscape, then toppled back into the ship's hallways through another gate 5 feet away. Sitting up, Josh realized that the Raptoid was gone. Looking around, his eyes fell on the spot where they were struggling. Jutting halfway through out of the wall, trapped in between this dimension and the Netherscape, was the lower half of the Raptoid, who was caught when the fall gate closed, sliced open by the closing of the energy posts. Its legs twitched for a moment, then a mass of Raptoid flesh dropped to the ground, blood and intestines spilling across the floor. Josh backed away from the plant munchings on the other soldiers and continued down the hall into the center of the ship. The inverted ship was overflowing with dinosaurs of every tribe and species. As Josh made his way, as Josh made his way through battle after battle, he wondered if their fighting skills were getting worse or if he was just getting better at killing, and he wondered if it were true that he was better at killing. Did that make him a better Turok? After 2 hours of fighting for his life, he had lost count of how many dinosaurs he had killed. As the tug of the light burden guided him, he tried to fill his thoughts with the goal of finding Primogen. The gash on Josh's shoulder inflicted by the Raptoid hurt less as he moved. The cotton woods he had gotten in the few battles making it pale by comparison. What didn't pale was the image of the leg and the guts of the Raptoid falling to the ground. He wondered how his uncle had been able to do all the things he'd heard stories about, how the Fire Seed men could have been Turoks for generations after uncounted generations over the thousands of years that the Lost Land had been in existence. His father's disappearance and his uncle Carl's untimely death left him with more questions than answers. But what he did know was that the sight of that dead creature's body lying there was going to stay with him for a long time. Kill Barry, save the world, Josh thought. Kill a Raptoid, save the world. Kill Primogen, save the world. There has to be another way to save the world. His thoughts were interrupted by an urgent vibrating that shook the light burden. Looking down, he saw that the guiding beam of his light had returned and was shining on a doorway not 20 feet away. Stepping up to the door, Josh pressed an ear on the cold metal and tried to hear if there was anything beyond. A sliding mechanical ragging sound skittered on the other side, then fell silent. Josh waited another minute. Then he withdrew a Mag 60 heavy pistol from the light burden and, after checking its ammo clip, kicked the door open. No sooner had the door opened than a spider-legged biobot dropped from the ceiling of the small closet-sized room. Pincer-like claws slammed into Josh, pinning him onto the floor. One of the spider legs drilled into the fleshy part of his shoulders, the wrenching pain numbing his arm and most of his left side. Unlike the other creatures Josh had fought, this beast couldn't speak, at least not any language he understood. Insectoid chatter clicked in his ears as the bug's robotic upper body dripped thick sour fluid into his eyes. The creature's mouth began to spew a web around Josh's face as he pivoted on his hip and hooked a foot under the robotic body of the creature, slamming it against the rear wall of the closet. Josh emptied the clip of the Mag 60 into the crouching mass. Without an organic head guiding it, the robotic body stopped moving, its gears grinding to a halt. The rear wall of the closet was covered in splattered insect goo as Josh sat up. "I hate insects," he said, wiping the web from his face. "I wonder why the light burden thought Primogen was this way," he thought, marveling at how he was beginning to think of the bag almost as a person. Then, the rear wall of the closet slid aside, revealing a massive control room. The room was deep and wide, almost the size of an entire city block. While the rest of the ship was oddly inverted on its upside-down landing, the newly revealed room was somehow right side up. What Josh assumed to be computers, though they looked like no computers he had ever seen before, hummed in the distance. Well lit and clean, this room seemed untouched by the forces that ravaged the rest of the last ship. Josh was about to step further into the room when he looked up to his left and saw a huge, towering figure sitting in a massive steel and chrome-plated chair. This creature looked like a larger version of the thing that Barry had been transformed into on the hovercraft. As a tremor of the earthquake outside shook the lightship, Josh gripped the strap of the light burden tightly to his chest. There is no doubt in his mind about this being. The time had finally arrived. Chapter 11. There we go. We're getting close to the end. Alright. Wait, really? 84. 8 pages left. Holy shit, that's already 8 pages left. I mean, this is gonna be short. Okay, chapter 11. Primogen stood, and Josh was amazed at how tall he was. Josh guessed he might have been well over 8 feet. The next thing he noticed was the fact that Primogen was not completely there. Staring directly at him, Josh could only see through Primogen, but he could see other parts of the ship, places in the Lost Land, and even glimpses of what seemed to be Earth. It was as if this being, this thread of all that was, and this entire light ship were in a constant state of flux. Joshua Fireseed, Turok, I have been looking forward to seeing you again, said Primogen in the same voice that had come out of Barry's mouth at the hovercraft. Again? Asked Josh. When was our first meeting? Unless you're talking about the time we met when you so rudely borrowed my best bud's body to steal the totems. That is correct, replied Primogen. That is. If you simply view time as moving one step after another forward, I no longer see time quite that way. What is the past for you, or what you think may come tomorrow, all happen at the same time for me. We have been here before. In fact, you're about to say, head games won't keep me from stopping you, said Josh, hearing an echo that he realized was Primogen saying the exact same words with him, parroting his speech, even mimicking the way he moved his arms when he spoke. Stop that, they both said in unison. Cut it out! Yes, Primogen said, turning back to the controls of his ship. Very few things change. We always get to this point, no further, but I can sense that this time there will be a shift in the order of things. The future, it's not set now. It is not occurring simultaneously with the past for me as we speak. This time around, you are different. No matter, I will start my lightship this time, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Josh reached into the light burden and pulled out a plasma cannon. He aimed it at the main console next to the Primogen, hoping that by disrupting the controls he might be able to disable the ship. Josh pulled the trigger and found himself standing back at the doorway of the control room, watching himself speak to Primogen, saying the same words he had just said. What? He gasped in a hushed voice. Time is a circle, young Turok, said Primogen as he turned and walked back to his console again. The previous Josh vanishing as the new Turok stepped into his place. Time bends in on itself like a figure 8, round and round into infinity. Start one place in this ship, wind up right back where you began. Imagine being trapped in here like that for millions and millions of years. It would make you insane, but all that stops today. Josh tried time and time again to stop Primogen, reaching into the light burden and withdrawing any number of weapons. But each time, finding himself back at the doorway of the control room, starting over, none which had any effect. Finally drained, he looked around, and shifted paths of time rippled through the room. The Turok Yannick had said, to stop Primogen, you have not to fight him, Josh remembered, closing the light burden. A tremor shook the light ship, and a far wall winked out of existence, exposing another area of star-filled airless space. What else did he say? The wind, you have to help him, give him what he wants. And then the phrase that had first given Josh the feeling he could stop Primogen returned to his mind. The energy in the light burden is energy that touches all universes at the same time. Josh looked at the light burden, hoping for some kind of inspiration. He found it in two black triangles on the bags outside. The two black triangles shaped like a figure eight. Primogen, shouted Josh. Listen to me. You've captured all of the energy totems, but there's no guarantee that by using their energy to power your light ship, you'll return through time to your universe at the point you left millions of years ago. There is another way, and I have a way that's sure to work. This is something new, Primogen said, looking up from his console. We have not had this conversation before. Turning to face Josh, he asked, what way home are you referring to? The only thing left for that time of your universe is right here, Josh said, patting the light burden. The energy pocket held in this satchel touches all universes. That includes yours. You lie. Nothing of my world exists there, shouted Primogen. Judge for yourself, said Josh as he opened the flap of the light burden. What streamed now could not exactly be called light, nor could it actually be called energy or radiation, but it had a radiance, a spirit, all of its own. Take a whiff, big guy. Home sweet home. You can almost smell the apple pie or cooling on the window's ledge, or whatever you guys put on your pies. Primogen extended an energy tentacle. It mingled with the radiance coming from the light burden. Then it entered the bag. Your choice, Primogen, Josh said, brimming with the confidence of a Turok. You can power up your light ship and destroy the lost land and everything else and go forward into the unknown, or you can enter the light burden and go back home to the part where your world that is still real. Step in it and you'll be home in time for supper. Primogen stood silent for a moment, not moving. Josh started to close the flap of the light burden when the alien traveler held up a hand, taking a moment to look from the light burden to the console and back again. Primogen lowered his head and let out an unheardly howl. The light ship shook, but not from the earthquakes that were ripping the land to pieces outside. Josh watched as the Primogen's body split and ruptured, light erupting through the rifts like lasers darting in all directions. Where once stood solid matter, now stood only a mass of pure energy. It hovered in midair for a moment, then rammed forward into the light burden. A shockwave enveloped Josh as the room around him filled with a heat as intense as the sun. As the energy streamed into the light burden, Josh could see the walls of the light ship ebb and flicker, bouncing in and out of existence. The light increased in intensity, flooding the room to a pure white, too bright to see through. Josh squeezed his eyes shut to protect them. A screeching sound filled the air, and as the last of the energy that was Primogen raced into the satchel in his hands, it felt as if the weight would rip the light burden from his fingers. Then, nothing. Silence. Josh slowly opened his eyes to find himself standing alone in the center of the ravine. Primogen's light ship having vanished. Looking down, he peered into the light burden. It was empty. Oh, there we go. Oh crap, hang on. Final. There we go. One stretch. Ah, there we go. We did it. We did it. We did it. He did it. You beat Primogen not by killing him, but by sending him down your magical bag of tricks. Final chapter. And after that, he was just gone, Josh explained to his astonished comrades. Amazing, Allison said, a smile beaming on her face. The smile dropped away as she began to beat on her brother's chest with clenched fists. But I could kill you for walking off on us like that. You had me scared, half to death. You and me both, said Josh, but I had to, you understand? Allison smiled again, likely punching him in the chest. I guess so, Turok. So he's in there? She asked for the fifth time since Josh had returned, pointing at the satchel. He's in the light burden? Yeah, Josh said, thinking about how much more of a burden the bag was now. In avenging his Uncle Carl, he finally began to understand what a heavy responsibility the light burden could be, but he also realized that he would never have to carry it alone. All of the Turoks who ever were and ever will be would always be with him, there to help him shoulder the load. What he didn't tell Allison or anyone was that for a brief moment, before the light flooded the room to the point where he couldn't see anything, he thought he saw something or someone who looked a lot like his father. He was smiling. Then the image was gone, just as quickly as he had it appear, swallowed by the infinite expanse within the bag around his neck. Do you think he made it home? Asked Barry. I mean, if the energy in the bag really does touch all the universes, who's to say that it didn't touch Primogen and send him back here, kind of like a living fax? Maybe he did get home, replied Josh, or maybe he's still in here, he added, glancing again into an empty-looking bag. Still, began Barry, wherever he went, we beat him. We really beat him, and saved Earth and everything else. We beat him? Asked Josh. Well, aside from getting kidnapped and possessed by Primogen and trying to kill everyone and blow up the universe, I was a little help, wasn't I? Asked Barry. Josh laughed and slapped Barry on the back. I'm kidding, bud, but I couldn't have done it without you, without all of you. Turok may have defeated the Primogen, but you helped me finding in myself the Turok that I had to become. End of mushy speech. Josh noticed that Adon was standing a bit away from the others. Adon, is everything okay? Adon resisted looking at Josh in the eyes at first, then finally met his glance. I am fine, she replied nervously. I have something to admit, Turok. When our journey began, I doubted you. I did not think you worthy to be Turok. I judged you before you had a chance to prove yourself, and I saw you as a danger, a failure, just as the Forsaken One your father had been. I am ashamed, as the voice of the council, and as your friend. Hey, Josh said, placing his hand on her shoulder. Listen, I wasn't Turok when this began. You had every right to be suspicious, but you stood by me. That's what we call teamwork back home. I owe you more than I can ever repay. Adon looked at Josh and smiled. Wily, resourceful, quick, dangerous in a tight corner, loyal to the end, and good in the game on the line. You are now truly Turok. Well, Allison said, throwing an arm around Josh and Adon. We swam across a cursed river, faced band of evolved dinosaurs, well, almost chopped up into pieces by the campaigner. You walked through an erupting volcano. I came back from the dead, and we still somehow saved all of the known universe, all while watching my big brother become a man. Not a bit of work, but I do have just one question, almighty Turok. Yes, my loyal subject, Josh said sarcastically as he and his friends began the long journey back to the safe lands. Pointing to the light burden, Allison said, with all you've learned and with all that you have done and your great knowledge, isn't it time you try to get us home? Whoops, Josh said, smiling sheepishly and searching around the light burden. I knew there was something I forgot. Don't miss Turok Adventure number 3, Arena of Doom. As Turok searches for a way home, his sister Allison and friend Barry are captured by the newest campaigner, a warlord more depraved, more villainous than any campaigner ever existed. Turok stages a daring rescue, but must once again do the battle in the campaigner's arena, where the rule is live to fight, fight to live. Turok. There we go. That's it. That's the end of the freaking that's the end of the freaking novel. I told you it was gonna be short, or I guess it was kind of short. The last chapters. Hello, villain of legend. Welcome, welcome. Long days and pleasant nights, so I say. We unfortunately just finished the novel, the Turok novel, Seeds of Evil, by who did this? Michael Teitelbaum. Teitelbaum. I hope I pronounced his name right. There we go. Close. Hang on. I'm gonna switch here. And close this. There we go. Okay, here we go. Wait. I'm gonna do a stretch first. There we go. Okay, so how the heck, what was the combination? Okay, so it was this and then this one. Okay, there we go. I'm back. I'm back to my regular self, or can you even call it my regular self? This is my regular self, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna open this real quick and connect, and now you can stay.
Chapters where the primogen comes more into play?
Are there any more chapters where the primogen comes into play? No. This is where the story with the primogen ends. So essentially, he goes back to his universe, and that's it. There's a few references here and there in the other novels, but after that, there's no more primogen. So pretty much he doesn't die. He just returns. He goes back to his universe. So he ends. That's where it ends. That's where the novel ends. Pretty much. It's pretty much kind of like the comic. That one comic. Where is it? I don't have that open. Yeah, okay, I don't have this open, but I need to load the comic. Where is Turok? Turok stuff. There you are, Turok stuff. Where is?
So we never find out more about his alien race or his PPL?
Nope. We don't actually know what his people is or what exactly he was. All you know is that he was an alien he was an alien that tried to go back in time to witness the birth of the universe, but in reality what he did, he destroyed his original universe, so now he got stuck in the so instead he got stuck in the lost land in a new universe. Okay, so it's this one. Yeah, it is this one. Let me zoom in. Where is the zoom options? Zoom options. There we go. Yeah, this is the one. This is the comic. Yes, this is the comic. GAM. Switch to game, and I'm gonna turn this browser info view.
I honestly wonder how his universe was.
There we go.
Or his home planet.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure that probably not gonna. That's never gonna be. We're never gonna get like something like that. Why is it not displaying? What the hell?
Because the guy in itself was super powerful and had a ton of knowledge to it seems.
It's not showing. What's going on? So because I have the browser on top. Open. There we go. Okay, for whatever reason, the comic is not showing on screen.
I still think he could have given Oblivion a really good fight if their path had ever crossed.
What the hell? Why is the comic not showing? Very rare comic primogen, blah blah blah. Let me check properties maybe. Client area. Oh wait, that's why I can't fucking see it. It's capturing the audio. Switch the thing to the audio. My bad. No wonder you can't see it. Browser, Sumatra, info view. Okay. Properties. Capture audio. Capture cursor. Force SDR. Okay, for whatever reason, city display is not displaying. I don't know why. I guess I'll have to turn on this thing. Screen capture. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so this comic... Wait, let me go back to the start. To the very first page. So this comic is like a... It's a retelling of Seeds of Evil, the original Seeds of Evil novel. It kind of ends around... It kind of ends like similar to how the novel ends. Let me see, where does Josh like leave everybody? I think it's around here. Yeah, it's right around here where he leaves Barry and Adon. Where is it? There we go. I need single page. And I also need to zoom out. Okay, so it's number minus. There we go, right there. And here's the man himself, the guy who'd been shipwrecked a billion times longer than Gillian, Skipper, and the rest, even counting the endless years of syndication. He's the professor, and he's got a plan for getting home. It has nothing to do with making a bamboo golf cart that runs on coconut milk, but it might just work anyway. And here I come, ready to play Gillian and screwing everything up at this last moment. Only, unlike Gillian, you will fail to stop me. Forgot he's a telepath. Primogen, if you can read my mind, you know I'm not here to stop you. I'm here to save our universe from what will happen if you keep doing what you're doing. There's a difference. My lust for knowledge initiated the end of my universe. I lost it all. I lost all I had, my mate, my home. I need to see it again. Yes, but how do you know that by repeating the process you will see them again? Explain. Creating another Big Bang only means that you'll be moving forward to the next universe, whatever that may be. How can you be sure it will be your universe? You might keep moving forward one reality after another, forever, destroying all you created, and never finding your way home. You don't know for sure, do you? All you know is you want to live, but the best chance you can give yourself for actually getting home is not by moving forward, but by truly going back. The light burden. Yes, the only thing that's left of your universe in its purest form is the power and energy inside this satchel, energy made up of the original time storm you created. You are right. It is my best chance to go home. And that's how he does. And that's how he defeats Primogen. A little bit less dramatic than novel. But there you go. There you freaking go. Close and... Oh, what the hell? What is that? I don't know. What did that button do? I have no idea what did that button do. But yeah. Okay, so the guy in was super powerful and had a lot of knowledge. I think we could give Oblivion a good fight if their paths are a bit close. I don't know. Maybe. If it were up to me, I would rewrite Oblivion, the origin of Oblivion, and just make it like... The best way to put it is I would make Oblivion be something outside of the universe, like in between the worlds. I don't know if that makes sense. Like something that lives in absolute in the absolute nothingness. I don't know if that even makes sense. Like it's really difficult to put it into words. But yeah, if I were to write Oblivion, I would do it like that. Essentially, Oblivion is just like a manifestation that comes from a different reality. Not a universe, but a different reality, universe. This is also confusing. I would just make it that Oblivion is like a cancer.
In complete darkness.
It's the cancer. It's like a cancer that, or like a wound. Yeah, like a, what do you call it? Like a virus that infects the universe. That would be better. That would be better. A better way to like rewrite Oblivion. Ugh.
Did the Primogen know about Oblivion in his universe?
Oblivion was a whole thing that kind of like, Oblivion was like a thing that was created only for Turok 3. And during the development of Turok 2, there was no such thing as Oblivion. It was only repurposed, I believe, very close to the end of the development of Turok 2, when they had to completely remove all of the levels that they had planned because they ran out of time and budget and money. So Oblivion is not really a thing. It was pretty much just something pulled at the last second to fill some voids here and there. And then the developers that took over for Turok 3, they took over that little, they essentially decided to continue that little last minute addition for Turok 3 and make it their own game. But in reality, Oblivion never existed in Turok 2. During Turok 2's development, it's really like the final thing that was probably added. And then after that, oh shit, Raiders, a raid. Hang on. Welcome, Riders. My name is Coyote Knight. I am a Turok team VTuber / mother / lore expert, and good days and pleasant nights. So I say, welcome, Sila. Hope you're having a wonderful evening today. What were you doing? Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, Coyote.
I know what you were doing.
I'm glad they added it into T2, though made it so much more interesting knowing IT was out there the entire time.
It was out there? Yeah, maybe. It was definitely out there. It was lurking in the shadows.
I fought Metal Gear in Dead Rising 2.
What? There's Metal Gear in Dead Rising? Oh, or is that a mod? Oh, yeah, I hope you had a wonderful stream. I just finished the Turok novel, the Seeds of Evil novel. Oh wait, I don't have the book on my hand anymore. Wait, where is it? Let me quickly add the book.
Yeah, there's a mecha boss fight in Dead Rising 2 off the record.
Oh, really? Cool. There we go.
When I found out it was Oblivion's minions fighting against me during the events of
I should have
T2,
kept
my
this.
chip dropped, hit the ground, and I drooled. 100% real and in the game, no mod.
There's a mecha boss fight in Dead Rising off the record. Okay, that sounds epic. I need to look that up. I know I should have kept this book on my hand. There we go. Just pay no attention to the fact that it's way too big. It's massive. This book is massive.
My chin.
When I found out Oblivion was neon, I drool. Hell yeah. You know, if I...
The sacred texts.
The sacred text, hell yeah. They're massive. They're you know what? They're actually pretty short. These novels, they're pretty short. They take about 4 hours to complete. Or at least I think it took me, well, the first novel, I think it took me 3 streams. It was longer than the second one. And I checked the other two, the Arena of Doom and Path of Destruction, and they're about the same size as the second one. So the first novel is like the longest. And I think I'll be able to finish all of them in 2 streams. So about 4 hours each. Way shorter than any of the other stuff that I've been listening to. Holy crap! If only I could read faster.
What's the current speed run for the novels?
The current speed run for the novels, probably, let's see, 2 hours, so 4 hours, 16. I gotta give it maybe 15 hours. For all 4 novels, probably 15 or 14 hours at the best. Depending on how fast you can read. I remember it took me a long time to read them all. I don't know why. Like I remember reading them for the first time and I feel
You
like they
gotta
took
do the
ages.
chapter 4 skip.
Yeah. There is a chapter in the second novel that is about 5 pages long. So that already happened. I Oh yeah, the final chapter is like five pages long, and the final page is like just like a few a few sentences long, and then it ends. But yeah, hell yeah. What else? Let's see. What else can we say? I have no idea what else to say. Let's see. Let me check something real quick on YouTube. I need to check something quick. Da. No, I don't think I have that. Okay. I was thinking about like redoing the novels, but instead of doing the novels with like I've been doing them, I just have the boys, the TT, no, not the TTS boys, the other one, the one that I use for shorts and videos. But holy crap, that's probably gonna take me a million years to complete. I don't even know how many characters are in one of the novels. I get like 30,000 characters per month to use the voice AI thing. I could probably like upgrade the plan so I get more a bigger quota. But I don't feel like doing that. Let me see what are the options. 100,000 characters per month, 2 hours of audio. Ooh. Oh, for $11. $99 a month. 10 hours of audio. 330 bucks per month.
How much is
Holy
it for
shit.
the AI?
How much is it for the AI? Hang on. I think it'll be better if I just open this on a different page. On the web browser thing. Let's see. I hope it doesn't ask me to sign up. Oh no, it is definitely gonna ask me to sign up. Yeah. Okay. So, do I have anything incriminating on this screen? I guess I do. So I'm just gonna do it like this. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna switch to this screen and turn this on. There we go. So these are the subscription, all of the subscription stuff. So the one that, wait, where's my cursor? This is the one that I'm using. Oh wait, oh shit, I was gonna be like, oh, do I have anything like could potentially dox me? I don't know. So this is oh wait, where's my cursor? There we go. Wait, let me switch to something bigger. Customize, chainsaw, thick, line. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now I can see it. This is the one that I use for the YouTube videos. $5 a month, 30,000 characters. This is more than enough for me for what I do. It says everything is free plus clone your voice, access to the dubbing studio, and this one I actually don't use. I don't actually use this one. License for use or for commercial use. This either I don't use this one. The only thing that I do is this one, which is clone your voice with as little as 1 minute of audio. The free one doesn't allow you to clone your voice. All it grants you is just text to speech. Text to speech. Translating content, create custom synthetic motion. Oh, but it's really limited. Create custom synthetic voices. It's really limited. You only get 10,000 characters per month. This one is a little bit better. I guess it's a little bit better.
Fair, TBH.
Yeah, it is fair. I've been paying $5. I didn't have to pay back when this thing came out. But I guess a lot of people were. a lot of people were using it for like dubious things, so they paywall the audio generations, the custom.
$11 is doable too.
This one, I guess I could probably do it too. Everything in Started Plus, professional voice cloning to create the most realistic digital replica of your voice, projects to create long-form
Ooh,
content.
Pretty neat to see a behind the scenes.
Hell yeah. This is the kind of stuff that AI was made for. Not for AI art, not for ripping off content or anything like that. This is the kind of thing that definitely gets people creative. Like, oh, I want to do this, but my voice is bad, or I can't do this because my voice is really, really horrible or something. So let me do this with this, and then I'll try to create content with these voices. If you get audio native to add narration to your website and blog, higher quality audio via the API. I don't really feel like this is needed. The voice thing, when I edit it on DaVinci, they get the music kind of like hides away any of the imperfections. A lot of my early videos, you can kind of hear the imperfections because I wasn't paying attention to stuff like the audio gain or anything like that. But not anymore. I've been trying as best as I can to hide away all of the imperfections. Hopefully nobody has noticed them. We got project. This is literally for big content. Higher quality audio. Audio output via this kind of thing is if you want to do something for you want to do something cool with Twitch with the API. Priority support, and who the hell is gonna pay this for this? Who the hell is gonna pay this? Honestly, if you wanna get into AI, go with the first one and then come back. And then if you see like this one is too limited, then go move on to this one. I prefer this one for what I do so far. But if you do audio work, this is definitely a good tool. This is literally a really good tool. The AI stuff. Maybe I should get rid of the book. It looks weird when I put it like that. All right, yeah, there we go. So that's how it is. Actually, my behind the scenes, it's even more complicated on my, what do you call it, my DaVinci stuff. I don't think I have an active project. Usually when I'm done with a project, I kind of like delete all the stuff and only keep the things that I actually use for a future project. Let me see if I happen to have an active project. Nope, I don't have it. I think I deleted. I think I cleaned them up. Let's see this one. Yeah, I cleaned them up. So there's nothing there. Yeah, there's nothing there. Let's see. Let me see my. Where's the other project? Project manager. This one. There we go. Let's see. Did I clean this up? Yeah, I also cleaned this up since I'm done.
Your content?
I back up the final render, the final video. I back them up. That's the only. Yeah, the final video and some of the source files, mainly the audio files. Yeah, okay, hang on. Let me switch to game real quick so you can like see what the actual behind the scenes it looks like. Game capture, screen cap. There we go. There we go. So this is what it looks like. This is essentially a skeleton thing, video. Everything I got different channels that do different things. So like this one right here. Oh wait, you can't see it, can you? Yeah, there we go. So it's got this guy. I even got it labeled. So this is the green screen. This is where I would put the video file for the for the PNG character, for the movement, and where I edit the edit away the green screen, and also like give it what is it called, a breathing animation. This one is just an overlay. Like right here, it's just, it should show up. There you go. Like you can tell there's like a little glitchy overlay. That's just the overlay. And then I just adjust the length of it right here. Same thing with the book. The book is just a green screen, like that just loops, constantly loops. I believe it's like 2 minutes long. I recorded like 2 minutes long so that I don't have to worry about going over time. These two are the backgrounds, and they have this background, this channel. It's got a few. What do you call it? Effects. It's mainly for cropping. So if I disable the cropping, this is what it looks like. Now, if I enable the cropping, oh, wait. I thought my bad. There we go. If I enable the cropping, this is what it looks like now, and this is the actual background. Over here, I got the. This is what I. Oh crap! You can't see. Oh crap. Oh no, you can't see. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna like turn this off. There we go. So these two, this is where I put the audio files. Like, oh, you know what? Let me quickly import an audio file. Like, let's see. I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna use this one. Okay, go back. So this is the audio file. This is the audio file that is gonna be used for like a video. So what I do is I check all of the I like listen to the audio file and then make sure that there is like not that many artifacts in the audio. And if there's artifacts, then I'll try to remove all of them as best I can. Then the next thing I do is just I apply this thing, which is a reverb, to make it sound like the voice of Adon, or to make it sound closer to Adon's voice. Actually, let me properties, DaVinci. Okay, so there we go. Now it's disabled. Now listen to the audio. Okay, wait, you should be able to listen to it.
A unique melee weapon, the Warhammer is a last resort weapon when the user is out of ammunition. A single swing is devastating to anyone who dares come close to the wielder. An alternate mechanism inside this hammer will allow the wielder to deliver a deadlier and devastating charged-up blow.
There we go. So that's without the reverb. And now I'm going to turn it on.
A unique melee weapon, the Warhammer is a last resort weapon when the user is out of ammunition. A single swing is devastating to anyone who dares come close to the wielder. An alternate mechanism inside this hammer will allow the wielder to deliver a deadlier and devastating charged-up blow.
There we go. So that's the first thing I do. So I check the audio, and like right here, where you see right here, this is a very weird ass artifact that I need to remove. So the way I remove it is just do this. I essentially create a fade out and edit it away. So now when I listen to it, it no longer sounds like there's an artifact in there. The next thing I do is this right here, where it says span. I slide it to the right, and then I copy over this so that this becomes the left channel. Now the reason I do this is because the audio degeneration is not an actual stereo track, so I have to like create an additional channel to make it sound like an actual stereo track. So now if you listen to it back again,
A unique melee weapon.
Now it sounds
The
like it's a
warhammer
stereo
is a
track.
last resort weapon when the user is out of ammunition.
Like it no longer sounds like it's coming from one ear, or yeah, from one ear. The next thing I do is I use OBS to record the animation for this, using a special, what would you call it, using a special scene that I set up. I unfortunately cannot show you the scene because that would mean having to switch to that scene. But yeah, I just record that. I essentially play back the audio and the animation is automatically recorded using OBS. Once I do that, what I do is I essentially paste the animation on this channel or this layer, remove the green screen, and then I start doing some simple animation, which is with a warper. I'm gonna show you here with this. So with a warper on with this thing right here. So what the warper does is that it allows me to manipulate the video file as if it were an image. So I switch this right here. No, wait, rounded 0. And then we go to global, no, not global band, mask, and warp vectors. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I also gotta turn on this thing on, which is, if you don't turn this on, you can't edit the warp effect. Oh, there we go. So then I add these little things. Oh, what's going on? There we go. So what these things do, what these things do is that they tell the what do you call it, Da Vinci to essentially create a breathing animation. I essentially do a breathing animation with these things. Please stop showing up. There we go. There we go. What is it? There we go. So I put it at 0. Then every 3 seconds I run that animation. So like right here, 0.5. Now you see this right here. I want to mute this so you can you can see the animation. So now I'm gonna jump to 8. Okay, 0, and there we go. Now look at this. Look at what happens when I. Look at what happens now that I done this. Oh wait, no, you can't see it. Oh no, it's because it's moving around, so you can't actually see it. It's easier to visualize this when it's done on the actual video that I record for the animation. So wrapper, there we go, and then I just edit the rest of this thing right here. Like right here is where I add footage or images or whatever. If I need more than one image, I have to. I mean, if I need more images or stuff, I create another channel. The subtitle is like the best part of this thing. I used to do this. I used to do the subtitles manually, but there's a better way to do them. You go to timeline, create subtitles from audio, then single. I believe I set it to 42. Yeah, I think it's like that. Yeah. Then I generate the subtitles automatically. Just gotta wait. It takes a while. Sometimes it takes a while, but sometimes it doesn't. And then there you go. Subtitles, instant subtitles. No need to fiddle with anything. And all I do then after creating the subtitles, I just check with the text file that I have around, and make sure that they all say the same thing. The subtitles are kind of like weird sometimes because like Adon the subtitles, the auto-generated subtitles do this. A done. So that's how that's how the subtitles kind of like think. That's how Da Vinci thinks Adon it's supposed to be spelled. And same thing with Lost Land. I mean with some of the names of the fictional names mainly. And then that's it really. This is ever since I started like automating as much as I can, I've been able to like do a videos way faster than I normally do. Before it used to take me like 2 hours to make one freaking video. Sometimes even longer. Shorts have always been like really quick. The hardest thing about shorts is the whole subtitle thing. That's one thing that you really want to be careful with. And also the audio and balancing the audio. The last thing you want is for the audio to peak, which is something that my old videos used to suffer from. That hopefully no longer is something that happens. There we go. I want to move back to intermission. There we go. Yeah, there you go. There's the behind the scenes, how I work with my freaking videos. Oh no, it's lagging. It's because I have Da Vinci still open. But yeah, whatever. I don't want to close it because I know it's probably gonna crash my whole computer, so I'm leaving it open until I finish stream. I'm not gonna open anything anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, thank you for dropping by tonight to stream. Next week, I've been thinking about like doing just Turok Rage Wars. I don't know why, but I suddenly just got an itch to play Turok Rage Wars. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't even know why. Let's see. What are we doing? What else? And also maybe depth stream, level making stream, because also why not? I haven't done one. I haven't done one in quite a while. I've been still working on that map, but it's like it's been taking me ages to complete the update to that map. I don't even know when I'm gonna finish. Oh yeah, but I also added, there's still also the new assets that I made for Turok maps and all that. Okay, so let's see who's on. Let's go raid Mayo. Mayo. Yeah, let's go raid Mayo. She's a really cool person. Chill stream, hell yeah. Wait, actually, who else is on? Somebody I haven't actually watched, or like I want to watch or do. Or yeah. Yeah, let's go with Mayo. She's a really cool person. Raid JJYM Mayo. There we go. We're gonna go raid her. She's doing art. She's an artist. She's really cool. Go. Aldo, yeah, there we go. We're gonna rate her. She's having an art stream right now. She's a VTuber artist and emote artist, and she's got a really cool mod. She's got a really cool cute model. So yeah, thank you for dropping by tonight to stream. I'll have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful night, have a wonderful Saturday night. Buenas noches, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.